Hey friends, welcome back. Tonight, I want to talk to you about a few things. Do you ever find yourself in a pickle? You lose a piece of a puzzle? Well, that happens with legitkits and other patterns that we all do. So tonight, I'm purposely showing you a way around different things, different things that may come up as you're working a project. So stay tuned, stick with me, and we're going to figure it out. So today is Monday, May the 5th, 2025, and it's 7 o'clock p.m. And welcome, everyone. I'm going to slip into the chat real quick and welcome everyone that's here. And thank you guys for coming. Michelle Crafton Moore, hello, hello. Mike, you make me smile with the Disco Queen. Day's in the house. Thanks, sweetie, for coming. I'm just going to skim. Hey, Janine. Welcome, welcome. She's on her sit-down machine today. Katie Crafts is in the house. Debbie's in the house. Thank you guys for coming. If you see my subscribers in green, they're my channel supporters, and it means the world to us to have yous, and we call them our squirrels. Donna Stitchery is in the house. Hey, everyone. Day's working on her teddy bear quilts, and I'm telling you, the way the girl does them, it is amazing, and I can't wait till you slip over to some of the share pages that we have, and she shares them along the way. Let me see. I'm just going to skim so I don't miss anybody. Hey, Heather's in the house. Thanks, Heather. Debbie, you're too cute. Let me see. Zaza's in the house. Patricia Browning's in the house. G Quilter, hello, sweetie, and welcome. It's good to see you. Everyone, please welcome G Quilter. Mitzi's in the house for a short little bit. I pray that you're healing and dealing, and you'll be back to normal in no time at all, Mitzi. Let me see. I'm just going to skim. Mennonite's here. Hello, hello. And welcome. Word of the day. Hold on. Vindicate. Paula's in the house. Word of the day is back. Yes, we are back. So, guys, I'm telling you, y'all know I love doing the legit kits, but sometimes you get stuck in a rut when you're working on something and it's like you've done it so many times to send one. It's kind of like you have to find a new way to do things. So this time I'm going out of my normal, instead of going A, B, C, D, and just working it left to right. This time I chose to pull the face out. I'm going to do A and B tonight, and then I'll finish the C, D, and E on both sides of the face and show us next week how we'll join those into the face, show you the upper portion. Then I'm looking at probably 2 weeks and we'll have this one wrapped up. I could normally do it a lot faster, but when you've done the same thing repetitiously, I need to step back a little bit and do something else and then slip back in. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Susan, hello, sweetie, and welcome. Love your shirt. Thank you. You guys are so good to me, and I appreciate that. So I'll get Joe to slip down onto the table for a minute, and I'll show you what we're working on. So right now, I've already did all of A row, and it's ready to join to B row, and I purposely kept one piece out because I want to show you something. So I have this all preset because I'm getting a lot of emails and questions on the back end of how do you get your things to line up proper? What do you do if you lose a piece? So we're going to imagine I've lost this piece tonight. And I'm going to show you how we're going to recreate it. And it's going to be fun. So stick with me. You see these lines here. You should be able to see them clearly. We're going to line these up. And I'm going to show you the technique that I use. And we're going to go from there. Yo, Patty G's in the house. Hey, girlfriend. How are you? So what I do is I find the corner of the gray. And I poke it through. And then I line it up with the corner of the back, and it seems to work for me. Everybody has their own technique, and then I'll come all the way down to the other end and do the same thing. And I'm just going to stick it straight through it first. And I know it's not going to line up yet. And then I'm going to forcibly get that needle in. So now I have all of these that need to line up. So what I choose to do is I open this seam up just a little bit and give it a look-see. Right where I need things to line up, you can pin these or you can clip them. I like to just take the easy way here and do it like this and clip. And then every once in a while, I'll stick a pin in it just to make sure that it's not going to slide. I'm going to slide up to the side, and right here, you're going to see I need to line up again because I have the seams. So let me get this here, and I'll get another clip. So when you're finished, it should, keyword should, lay flat for you. Howdy, 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 Mama Enterprise. Candace is in the house. Miss Pat's in the house. You guys are rocking it tonight, and thank you for coming. So now we're just going to sew this one in. And tonight's all about the hidden problems that you find with FPP. And what did you guys think of the Legit Lion? I'm telling you what Joe did with it and the way he was able to showcase some of the patterns that Legit has coming out or they're out already. Did you like that? If you did, please drop a heart in the chat and it'll let him know that you do like what he has done there. So I'm going to, I should have upped my stitch length, but I was talking and didn't pay attention. So I want to pop this one because I have one here that's not lined up enough to suit me. So that's what it's about tonight, to show you. And anytime you're in doubt, raise your stitch length up to a basting stitch and it'll get you in. That way it's easier to pick than your 1.2 or 1.4. And I just want to come back just a little bit here because that one slipped. And I knew it slipped as soon as I hit it. So I want to make sure that I do have this lined up right or it won't suit me. And it was the one I said might slip. Well, it did. And of course, it's going to be up one more row. But this is a way to show you it's okay to have a date with Jack. You don't have to enjoy it, but you do have to pull that paper out that way. When stuff like this happens, I just go ahead and pull the paper. That way I'm able to see better on the back end. Exactly where I need to be. And then I'll put it back in. And as I'm coming along, I'll be able to manipulate and pull these the way I need them to line up. So it does not hurt to take the paper out early. Just go ahead and pop it. And that's what you'll see me doing a lot of tonight. Popping the paper out ahead of time and just getting them done. So we have this lined up now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this straight out of here. And I like to keep my seams nice and clean. And I'm okay with popping the paper out over here too now because there's no purpose in keeping it. And it just works for me. You can leave your paper in all the way to the end of the project, or you can go ahead and opt to take it out. But when I'm going to be opening seams and joining, I'm going to go ahead and just show you what I do on the back end. So now I have it here, and it'll lay a lot flatter as well without the paper. So just use your fingers and the very tip of your iron and come up in very, very slow. As you're doing it, sometimes they're going to want to open up and sometimes they're not. They're going to choose to lay in the direction of their choice, and that's okay. So I'm just going to leave the heat on for just a second and keep coming up. Okay, I want to look up to the chat real quick. Donna Bogart, hello, and Noreen, hello. So now we've got this, and we're going to join this side. So the easiest way to do it is just plop it over. No fuss, no muss. I'm not going to worry about the reason I didn't take the paper out up here is because I know I need that little point that I'll be able to just run it through. And when I say the point, it's the peak of the seam right there. And I want that to line up. So then I'll just give it a little pinch. And now I'm in there. So I'm going to come all the way down this side and see what all needs to line up and what doesn't need to line up. This one here is falling out, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out. And then we're going to flip back, and right here we're going to be watching what all needs to line up. And I'll stick a little clip there. So let's sew this in. Every once in a while, when you're working with FPP of any kind, the odds are, as you're cutting them out or working with something, it's very, the odds are pretty good that you could accidentally throw away a piece. And I've seen so many of my friends or acquaintances tell me, oh no, I've lost a piece. What do I do? How do I fix this? The first thing you do is you call Legit. They will help you out along the way because that's what they do. But if you're so close to finishing or it's just one little piece of a block, let me show you what I do from time to time. And I always tell everybody, Buttercup, she'll eat anything. She eats all my pieces that hit the floor. She will take them into her bed and they're never to be seen again. Hey, y'all, don't forget to pay the rent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys take good care of me. So let me strip the seam. And what I mean by that is I get all the paper out now, and then I don't have to fool with it later on because, see, it's already out. And it's easier for me to work with a little piece than it is the great big quilt at the end. So right here, this is coming out. So I'll stick a pin in it there, and we're going to take this off. And this is just what I choose to do. You do not have to do it the way that Donna does, but it works for me. So now we're going to strip this side, and I'm going to leave some of the papers in for demonstration purposes when we get down to this corner. And I'll show you what I mean when I say things happen and we misplace things all the time. So it's going to be easy to show you what you need to do to fix it. So let me right up the seam. And I'm just going to heat it up. Rent paid. Thank you, Paula. Slide down here, and I want to make sure I'm not happy with this end piece. And this happens when you do a lot of FPP. It's okay to say I'm going to pop a seam or something just doesn't look right to you. If it doesn't look right, fix it. I'm not one to just let it go. I could do that for you guys right here tonight and say it's good enough, but I don't want to do that. I want to show you what happens behind the scenes and the way I really work. And this is the way I do it. Everybody, things line up different, and this is just the way it works for me. And I'm not happy with the way this one piece came in, so it's okay to have a little date. A little bit more. That just didn't line up good enough to suit me. So right here is where I'm talking about. I want to make sure that this lines up real good right there. So I'm going to stick a clip in it. Then I'm going to double check right here, and we're going to pin it. Then we're going to come all the way down here to this end. And I'll put a little clip there, just because that's what I do. And then I'm going to come back in, and I did not raise my stitch length at all yet. Thank you, Dave, for dropping links. Good evening, everyone. Had a late dinner and lost track of time. That's okay. That happens. So now we're going to open this up, and as you can see right here, I'm struggling getting this one here to line up the way that I choose for it to. So I'm just going to come in and open that seam just a little bit that way. And now it's lined up. So we'll press this out. So now we're to the part to where I told you things happen, we lose parts, right? Have you ever lost a part to a quilt? Whether it be, it has to be the FPP, because that's what I'm talking about. If you have lost a piece, give me a heart in the chat and it'll let me know that you have. I know the one that's asking me how I do it is in the house tonight, so I know we have those people. Let me put the paper aside, and we always clean as we go. That way you don't have it all over the floor. With legitkits, you do get your little mapping, is what I like to call it. So right here is the piece that we're going to imagine for all purposes. I've lost that piece. I don't know where it is. What am I going to do? So we're going to play imagination for a second. So imagine this is lost. It's after hours for Legitkit. I can email them, or I can try to figure out what am I going to do to fix it, because I want to keep this block and I want to keep moving forward. First step is always call legit, but this is what I do when things happen. I just get a piece of my printer paper, the newsprint. I pull this piece and I eyeball everything that I need. I cut bigger on this than actually is needed. There's two places I look for that's very important that I want to make sure they do line up. So on this one, as you can see, LT has to line up on here, and BO needs to line up here. That is the two lines I have to make sure need to line up. I made myself an imaginary line here. We can all see it. I think you can, with my 1/4 inch. So for right now, I put my TC here, my BO, LT, and YW. And I'm going to just pull this over until I see where these lines are going to line up. Now, as you can see, the block is really wonky right now, so we know that's too big. So I'm going to keep coming in. The block is still too big. So I need to cut off all of this extra. So I'm going to pull it aside, and you always keep your true 1/4 inch. That's very, very important. So now we're going to take this piece and we're going to line it up here. I know that I have to line this up just like I do anything else. And I don't think you can see what I'm showing you. So let me get a pin that might work. So right here is my LT. Here's my BO. Here's my TC block. And this is my YW. That way I'm getting all the colors that this here, one piece here is showing me. So we're imagining this is the missing piece. So we're going to recreate it. So what I chose to do was I took just a piece of the scrap newsprint and I cut myself out a corner because I know this is a corner piece, but it could happen anywhere in your project. So then I just laid it down, and then I started with my ruler. And I started lining up that piece of paper where the seams would be. I put myself an imaginary line here of my 1/4 inch. You have to start there. I put myself a circle here and a circle here because that's going to be my points, where my points have got to line up. So right here is the same on this side. Then this one is the seam here. I'm not worried about any of this because I pulled over the piece that's going to be on this side and it all is the same color. So I'm not worried about this side. This is going to be okay. It's going to fit in. But I needed to calculate and figure out the order I was going to sew these in as I recreated the block. And this is what I did. So this is my BL. This is the LT, TC, and the YW. So now we've got that, and I hope that you can see what I'm drawing on here. So I'm estimating we've got this right. Everything is just calculation at this point. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to do it just like any other piece. And I'm going to put a pin in the corner, because you want to make sure these do line up. Now for this, I will raise my stitch length strictly because if I have to have a date with Jack, I want it to be an easy journey. So I'm going to line this up right here and make sure that I got him in there. And there's never a block that you cannot make work. It's just going to take you a little bit of time. And there'll be trimming on the end and the back end. You expect that. Now, I have a little bit of a bump here, so I'm going to make sure that is very, very flat. And we are in. So let me raise the stitch length. And we're going to put this piece in. And this is just basting it in. That way, if I need to make an adjustment, now would be the time. So I want to make sure that it's lined up. And as you can see, it's lined up exactly where it needed to be. So I'm okay. So I'm going to lower my stitch length back down. And we're going to resew. It's double the work when you do this, but well worth it in the end. When you're not sure of something, raise that stitch length. It will help you out a lot. Thank you. The prayer slowly regaining my strength. Mitzi, sweetheart, I pray that you finally get through all this. Guess who Nancy's in the house? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you all tonight. So let me pick this paper out. And some people are like, why do you take your paper out so soon? It really, for me, it's just a different way that helps me in the end. And this is one of the techniques that allows me to get things done a little bit quicker and more efficiently. And when I'm asked, how can you do those like that? It just works. And I think once you hone your techniques a little bit and your skill a little bit, you'll be able to do it too. You can leave your papers in and steam them, press them, do whatever you like. But there is times that you just want to go ahead and get that paper out. And anybody that does a lot of FPP, you know the paper is the worst part of it. You love the way it looks. Everything lines up nice and tidy. But it's that paper picking party that you have to have, right? So I'm going to lay this over because I know I have to trim it out. It's not going to fit. I have to trim out this corner. So let's open this seam up. And just keep going one little step ahead. Now that one there folded over, and that's okay. I let the paper and I let everything fall the way that it chooses to, per se. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just give it a good bit of heat love. And we're going to trim this out. So I know this corner has to be square. So let me make sure that I'm lined up corner to corner. And this little bit here is all I need to trim off. And that's not very much for making up a piece of a block that needed to be made up. Let me put this here, and now we're going to move this puppy right over here, and we're going to add this one in. Since this one does not have any seams to line up or nest in, it's easy to just go ahead and let's sew it in. And always be confident in your sewing. If you mess up, own up, and it's okay to leave it. If you're comfortable leaving a mistake, you feel free to leave it. If you know it's going to bug you, take the time to fix it right then. So we're going to open another seam. And I'm only going to open the ends for right now. I'll go back after the live tonight and open the whole seam. But that's what we have so far. So now I'm going to take the rest of this section and we're going to join it in over here. And as you can see, there's going to be parts that need to nest and need to line up. And that's what the name of the game is all about. So I'm going to go all the way down the seam and look for what has to line up. And I definitely prefer to flip, but for you guys tonight, I am pinning. And now we're just going to sew this one. Let me know, give me a heart in the chat or a thumbs up if you're learning anything from tonight. Because that's what it's all about, teaching you something new that you didn't think of, or, hey, I can use that in my sewing room, right? The way we do it. So, like I said, I'm going to take the easy way right now and just where I know that seam's going to line up because I have to open up all this tonight. Yes. Okay. Thank you. It lets me know that this is something that's helpful for you guys. So now we've got everything in. It's all lined up and I'm happy with it. So this is my B section. I always take the top corner when I'm working and I pull my papers out ahead of time. I take and put whatever block it is in the top left. That way I know I'm not going to get all jacked up. And then the easiest way, as you can see, this has been really easy getting this paper out. Now it's really easy to work with and it stretches if you have to manipulate anything. So the first step I do here is I stick a pin in the corners. And then I'm going to come all the way down where that block is. because it's so important you keep those blocks lined up. I'm not worried about anything else at this point lining up. It's just these blocks. If you can get those lined up, the rest is going to fall into place. Find your next block and do the same thing. You're going to repeat this all the way down this section. And if you miss this step, you will regret it. Ask me how I know. I don't need this one in. I was showing myself what the block that was. So we need to line up and clip in. Like right now, I'm not worried about the pinning aspect. I just need to get the blocks all into their area of what section I need to work on at that moment. And then this. And a lot of people don't like certain projects. They don't like the FPP or whatever the case may be. That's okay too. But from time to time, I will swing back and do a legit kit because I get the request for them. So as you can see right here, I have to make sure this nests. I can't cut off my points. So I'll show you a little technique that helps me so I don't cut off my points. Right here, I know is a point. So when I come down that seam, I mark it because I don't want to lose the point that is needed to be there. Then I'm going to work my way all the way back up this piece. I'm just going to open it up, and I know this yellow has to come here. And it seems like it's a lot, but honestly, it's not. You just need to figure out what works for you, and here needs to be there. Find your sweet spot on your project, and it will line up. And if not, you're not at anything but a date with Jack. Since I'm doing a long seam, I would highly recommend going ahead and doing the technique of raising your stitch length. That way, God forbid, you won't have to rip the whole thing. You can go right to that area that you're not happy with and just pick that wee little piece and move it if it doesn't line up the way you want. So all the key points that have to line up, I stick a pin in. Is it overkill? Maybe, but I'll be glad I did. Hello, Terry, and welcome. So just manipulate a little bit, and you can get it in. And sorry if I'm not talking, but I'm trying to look at these to make sure they line up. Big one there. But you get the gist of it. Okay, so let's throw this puppy in. Take your time, and remember, if you can see, it's kind of like when you're doing your flying geese and you don't want to lose your points. It's kind of like that. Take your time, and if you see that there's a seam line there, give it a scant on the opposite side. You don't have to lose that 1/4 inch, you can just move it over just a hair so that you keep that point. I always mark mine when I know there's a chance of me missing it. Joydy, hello, hello. Oh no, dead air. Delia, I'm gonna beat you. Joe's over here. Is he playing me music yet? When I have to focus, he's a trooper. He gives me music. I did not raise my stitch length in the beginning because I felt confident where they're at. But as you go along, where I have all of those pins, I probably will raise it when I get down to where I'm unsure. And right here's where it's going to come up, because I'd rather have an easy pick session if I need it. Do what? His music is too loud. Off. Thank you, honey, for playing the music for me. I appreciate it. So, anywhere that you feel you're confident, everything lines up, I'll raise my stitch length back up. And then I'll lower it back down. Remember, you're in charge of your own project, you know? As I build out my quilts, I always go back and make sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I get my seams as flat as I can if there's a lot of bulk, because your long armor, not just me, but your long armor, if you have to send out or you're doing it yourself, you'll thank yourself later. So I have a couple places I need to check just to make sure they did line up good. And they did. I should have trusted myself. But you know how it is. A second. Sorry, Dave, for the dead air, girl. You are too good to me. Okay. So I will, after the live tonight, go through and press all this out. I know this is my top left corner. This is block number 1, so I will leave this on until the quilt is completed, but I will change the pin out to one that I'm sure will not slip out while it's being manipulated and moved around. So I'm putting a heavier pin in because no matter what I do, it's not going to come loose. So now, the whole way down the quilt, I will gently, ever so gently, get all of my seams open. Some people do not need to do this. They feel confident in just letting the seam fall wherever. When I've done legitkit, I find it works best for me to open up all the major seams. It makes the quilt look so much nicer. It's all good. Concentration is key, and sometimes you have to just focus. Thank you, Day. I have to when I do these. When I'm really working on trying to get something to line up good. And you all know what that's like with your projects. You have to just sit there and give it a second. It'll be all right. So, is there any questions on this tonight? As I'm going along. Now's your time to ask away. Next Monday night, I will still be doing the legit kit for those that have asked. That way you're following me along a little bit. I know my views are lower when I do them, and that's okay. But that's a time for me to show you a few little tips and tricks along the way. So if you need them, I'm here. If you've started a legit kit and you just kind of like, oh, man, it's a lot, or I don't know about this piece, it's okay to reach out and ask for help. There's so many people in the legit kit groups that can help, not just me. And I appreciate you guys chatting it up a storm while I'm focusing here. I do appreciate it. And isn't it a lot easier to get this done when you're taking the paper out? That way, when I say this quilt's done, I'm not going to have the great big celebration of a paper picking party. Is it taking me a little longer right now? Absolutely. But I'm taking my time on this one and just enjoying the journey. And when I get hung up, I'm like, I'll just set it aside for a minute because I miss traditional piecing, or I'll do another project or something. But these turn out always so beautiful. So let me see. I think we have 41 days till the Nut House retreat. And the ones coming to that, let me know if you're excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun time. Definitely a fun time. And then someone showed me how to do the countdown calendars. Man, they created a monster. All the different events that we have going on. Yeah, I've added those in too. So I've got tons of things for us. Everything from this project to that project, FPP, Federation of Paper Pickers. Whoop, whoop. Yep, Janine is. I'll tell you what, I'm ready for her bread. I make good bread, don't get me wrong. But Janine, she's got the market on the bread. She does honey bread. And, oh, I'm telling you what, it's moist, delicious, and I always wait when she says, sometimes she doesn't even say, that's the bad part. But she heads to the kitchen, and you know that timer's going to go beep, 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 and I run out there. I'm the quickest one, and I'm like, I'll wait on the heel of the bread. And then eat it nice while it's hot, and I'm going, it's hot. I made a loaf of honey bread today, absolutely. I have a pile of freebies, cleaning out stuff as I move from bedroom to dining room. Be ready. We are ready. And it's going to be fun. Everybody, don't forget, if you're coming, bring that stuff for the swap tables. It's going to be a blast. Did you start your move? It sounds like she did. So, as you can see, everything lines up nice and tidy. I'll go over this, and honestly, yes, I will starch it before I move on to the next section, because that's just what I do. I like it to hang flat and look nice. But as you can see, it does come together really nice. And I hope that tonight you learned something along the way. And if there's any more questions, you guys have my email. You have my cell, most of you. And feel free to reach out. QuiltCon's going to be a blast. It's going to be off the hook. I'm telling you, I can't wait. We're going to be starting that countdown calendar too, right? It's going to be just outstanding. That's all I have, outstanding. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here tonight. And I hope, like I said, you've learned something along the way. And I will see you guys back on Friday night. I have a lot going on this week, so you guys take care. God bless and have a fabulous week. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.